G'day. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Ruben. What am I going to cook today? Right, I'm going to make another classic, very popular Sri Lankan breakfast food, or even parties nowadays they have that as a night party with that. There are multiple different versions of that we can make. I'm going to make one version of that today. It is hoppers, or we call it appam. So hopper night is a quite popular dinner party nowadays. You have a hopper night with a light hopper. Hopper is a very light food. My version, let me see how I'm going to make this one today. So I have white raw rice, make sure not boiled, and I have soaked it for 5 hours now. So time to grind it into a fine paste. You don't need to put too much of water at this stage. We will want to have it as a thick paste. Later on we can dilute it with the coconut cream. So I'm just got a little bit of water just to grind it into a fine paste. Okay, so I have grinded it. It's nice and smooth. See, it's like there's nothing there. Some people like to strain it to get the small big pieces out of it, but I think it is really done well. I'm happy to use it as it is. So we have grinded 2 cups of rice. So I'm going to take 4 tablespoons of that gravy, and I'm going to cook that and make what we call as kanji. It will be like a thick soup kind of texture. That's what I need them to be cooked, and that process will help us to for fermentation of this mixture. So this will be cooked quickly. So we'll let it to dry and and cook that and see. So this is getting cooked now. You can see it. So I'm going to add a bit of water. Mixed with a bit of water and let it boil and let it get thick. So the kanji is ready. I let it to cool down as well. So I'm going to mix that with the grinded mix as well. So go. So when you are cooking the kanji, you might get lumps sometimes, but don't stress about it. You can put it in a mixer and grind it if you want. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And salt to taste. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons now. Later on I will add more salt if required. So I'm used to it. I know if I'm doing it in my hand, I know the measurements. When you're mixing it, my recommendation is use your hands, because that will help for fermentation and healthy food. Right? So in a normal weather like in Sri Lanka or summertime in Queensland, we just need to leave it for overnight and it will be normally ready next day. But it's getting cold in Queensland. Our night temperature is on 12 degrees at the moment, so I think it will be ready in 24 hours. So now I'm mixing it nice, well, using my hands, So we will see tomorrow how it has fermented, and depends on that whether I don't know whether I can do it for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we have to wait and see. It's all about the temperature and fermentation. Traditionally in Sri Lanka, we use Palmyra toddy. We put a couple of teaspoons of toddy and that's how first time I tried my alcohol as well. I just tasted that dot in my mouth. So I still remember that. That's from the tree from our home. The person comes and take those toddies every day, and we can ask them a cup of, a little bit of a toddy for hoppers. He knows how much it is, and I'll just normally touch it and try it. So that's how we taste our first alcohol. Everyone in Sri Lanka would have been a toddy. Either it is a palmyra toddy or coconut toddy. Anyway, so we'll go back to the hopper. So I have mixed it really well. Yeah, well, I think we have to clean our hands, Army. Yeah, well, but I don't know. Yeah. So I have let it fermented for this one for a bit over a day, because we have some cool weather in Queensland, so it didn't ferment, but it looks so good now. See, nice and thick. It's fermented really well. So I'm going to add coconut cream. If you're making a fresh coconut cream, use the first coconut cream, not the second one. But here in Australia, we can get this coconut cream at our local supermarket, which is really nice, thick as well. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to add half a cup of that one. So, and later on we can add if you need it. And then I want to see the consistency of it. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. Wow, look at that bubbles. So that is the one will give that beautiful look. And the hoppers with the little holes in there and soft in the middle. So it looks like I have the nice consistency here, very nice and creamy. So what kind of consistency I look at, if I'm going to put that in the side like that, so it needs to stick like that. So you see that? So that's what I'm looking for. So when we are putting that into the little dish, the copper dish, it will nicely go around and give us the shape and the crispiness. So we don't want to be too thick, and we don't want to be too light. So this, for me, it's quite nice. So I'm going to leave it now for half an hour, 45 minutes, for the coconut milk to fully absorb the whole mixture as well. So then we'll see how it's going to come out. So I have my two vessels getting ready. So I just need to warm them up. The most important thing is to have the vessel at the right temperature and have the right burner as well. We don't want to have too much fire, just to have the right amount of fire. If you put too much, it will burn quickly. So you just need to have and nicely warm it up, the dish first. And then I have gingerly oil or nallanai, sesame oil. That's the one I'm going to use it to apply to the vessel before I start cooking. See, I can see the water still. I just need all the water to evaporate and the vessel to dry it out. Then I can apply the oil, and then we can start cooking the hoppers. Time to apply a little bit of oil. Don't put too much. I'm going to put a little bit too much. So have a dry that a bit, because too much oil will not, the mixture won't stick in the side of the vessel, because that's important. So if you stick there only, then you can get the shape and the crispiness of that. So we don't want too much oil as well. We just need a little bit of oil once it is cooked, that to come out. Okay, just going to still leave it. That looks good to me. See how it has come out. Wow, look at that. Look at that, hoppers. That's perfect. There you go, that's my hoppers. If you have a kids at home, I highly recommend use some colors, and you can make, they will love it. So I'm going to make that. After I left it for a few seconds to get a bit more crispiness, but it's still really, really good. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful green color hopper. Look at that. You can put in a green, blue color. You know, I couldn't find the blue one. Son loves the blue colors. Milk hoppers next. So I have a coconut cream with sugar and salt mixed. So I'm going to add that as well. So the other popular version of a vegetarian hoppers from Sri Lanka. The other popular one is the egg one. So put one egg in there. Some cracked peppers. And a bit of salt. Do it quickly. Salt. And cover it. Look at the milk hoppers. That looks so good. There's nothing stick there because we have that right amount of oil, right temperature, so it will come perfectly out of it. So the egg hoppers is ready. Again, it's cooked to perfection. Alright, so the hoppers are ready. I have my plain hoppers, milk hopper, and that's plain hopper but with colored for the kids. So they have come up so good. These are gluten-free and vegan. But I have my egg one as well. So that's the egg one. I always like to have a bit of egg as well. So let me see. Look at that. Hopper's nice, soft in the middle. Wow. Crispy in the outside. Wow, that's it. Let's taste it. So good. Also what we do is we like to get the plain hoppers, dig into the egg, you know, and get the egg as well and add that. I could have taken off a little bit earlier, a bit more half-cooked egg. So some people like to be cooked a bit more, some people like half-cooked. It's up to you. That's the last dessert part of it. Wow. That's mostly everyone's favorite one. The milk hoppers, so sweet, so nice. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Time to make a good tea, Ceylon tea, and have this as today's breakfast. Hey, you got to get, you know, traditional Sri Lankan way, yeah? Let me see. Wow. Hope you all enjoy my hoppers. Don't forget to like and subscribe it. Till that, I'll see you next time.